Do you have an ADHD kid that doesn't want to go to school? Do you wake up in the morning praying for him wanting to go to school only to find out that he another day stayed at home and you're freaking out because you don't know what is going to happen? And if he doesn't go to school, how he's going to learn? What are you going to do? Are you going to be homeschooling? You are freaking out. I know this because I've gone through it. And in this video, I want to share with you the 4 things that work in our home for avoiding to go to school. My name is Laura. I am an ADHD parent coach. I'm also the mom of an ADHD boy who's 8 now. I also have ADHD and I'm the founder of Good ADHD Moms, a community of moms from all over the world that meet regularly, weekly, to talk about how to educate their kids, their ADHD kids, much better. I also put together a really good free course for you. You can see the link below, called How to Stop Explosions with an ADHD Kid. And this is 6 videos over 6 days. You know, the videos are not very long. They're like 10-15 minutes each, that really teach you how to stop the emotional dysregulation and the explosions at home with an ADHD kid. So you can download it below in the section below. And sorry, my notes just fell. So let me talk about this right now. So what is the story? What happened to us? A few months ago, my son, who is 8, as I said before, he was exploding and in the school, and he decided he didn't want to go to school any longer. And every morning we tried for him to go to school, and he was like lying in the floor, being sluggish, saying that I don't want to go to school, and it was impossible for us to take him to school. And that was for over a week, and we didn't know what to do. We were freaking out. We will send emails to the teacher saying like, sorry, he doesn't feel very well. And even on the days where he was going to school, he would explode in the school, and they would just call us to come and pick him up because it was impossible to be in the school with him. So that was a very stressful, very, very stressful situation. And I know if you're going through the same, you must be stressed and freaking out, because we were. But let me tell you, so he was exploding, it was stressful. The cause of this and what he told us afterwards, obviously you don't know this while you're going through it, but what he told us is that he, first of all, he was doing very bad in the school, and they will tell him to keep on writing, and he has dysgraphia, so it's very difficult for him to write. So he will keep on exploding, and the other kids will call him names and all those things. Like they will say things like he lost his mind, he's a psychopath, all these things. That was one thing. And on the other hand, it was a very irregular month where basically every 2-3 days there was a bank holiday. And you know, for our kids that are neurodivergent, schedules and it are like really important. So there was no schedule, every day was different. So that was really tough. So what did we do, or what did I do? First of all, what we did is we got in touch with the school. And, you know, we had a call with them, and they said, you know, I think we're going to implement like one rule that is going to be like, if you have no explosions today and you do what you're told today, we're going to give you a star. And maybe what you can do at home is, if he gets all the stars, which are 4, you can give them a reward, positive reinforcement. Yes. So we did that. That helped, because now he knew that if he did all the things that he was supposed to do and he behaved, and he was going to be able to do the thing that he likes the most in the world, which is playing Nintendo Switch. So that worked. It took a little bit of convincing. Like the first week, there was a couple of days where he didn't get to play and there was a big explosion there. But over time, he will come up really excited, telling me, Mom, I got all my stars. Mom, I got all my stars. Even now, a few months later, he's still saying, Mom, I got all my stars. So number one thing that we did is cooperate with the school and find a way of having a positive consequence if everything was going well. The second thing that we did is, at the same time, we started doing the medication. So it started in December 2025. And I remember thinking, oh my God, I hope this is the miracle that we've been waiting for, praying for. And it actually kind of is, I have to say. So he's taking 2 different medications, and I have a video below or in my channel about the medications that he's taking. And one of them is for helping him focus in the school and do homework, and, you know, helping him focus and making things easier for him. And the other one is for emotional regulation. But what I noticed is that The emotional regulation pill, it takes effect in like 6 weeks, so we don't see a lot of that right now. But for the other part, the one that helps him at school, it really helps him focus. And that really helps him do a better job in the class. So when he feels more successful at class, when he feels like he's catching up with the others, when he feels like he's not the silly one, he is happier to be there. I remember this anecdote when his friend Noah came over one day and they were doing homework together, and Noah said something like, "Oh, it is so easy to do homework. I just look at this. I can do it so easily." And my son was obviously very frustrated, very frustrated. And at one point, my son mentioned, no, I have ADHD and things are a little bit harder for me. So that was great for him. But now, when I see him doing homework, oh my God, he sits down himself alone, he looks at the page and he's being able to focus and focus on the homework and do it. And I feel like it's the same in the class, and this makes him more successful and he feels happier now in the class. The other thing that we did was connection. And I remember this really tough day where, my kid didn't want to go to school and he's supposed to go at 8 and it was already 11. And I was like, I didn't know what to do. I had been nagging him for a while. I left him alone for a while. And then I was just lying in the sofa, frustrated. And he just came and lied on top of me. And we hugged there for like half an hour. We were hugging and saying, I love you, I love you. And I don't know what happened to his brain. I don't know what happened in that specific moment. But he said, Mom, I'm ready to go to school. I can go to school now. I'm ready to go. And we stood up, he put on his things and he went to school. And that's when this whole avoidance stopped. Like after that, he continued going to school. Like the connection piece I was telling him, whatever it is, we can be here together. It's okay. Everything is going to be okay. You're a good kid. I support you. Saying those things and hugging him and giving him cuddles and lying with him for half an hour. Everything is okay. We'll figure it out together. That worked. And the last thing that I want to mention is at one point, because we didn't know what was happening, I started looking at different schools, different options. And I visited some incredible schools that I was really tempted. I was like, oh my God, I only wish I had come to this school when I was little because I also have ADHD. So at one point I said, Max, let's talk about options. And we wrote the options down in a paper. And I said, we can do whatever, You're going to stay in the same school. We can work with the school and figure out things that work, and medication maybe will help. We can do that. The second option is we can change you to another school with less kids, more focus on neurodiversity. You'll have to go to Manhattan every day, but we can do that. We can change school. And the last option is, if nothing of that works, I can homeschool you. We can homeschool at home. You do the homework at home. And we talk about the pros and cons of all the decisions, saying, Max, we can do anything for you. We can do any of these options. And after thinking about all the options, he decided he wanted to stay in the same school because he already had friends in that school. And he wanted to keep them. And the other two options, the option of moving him to a different school, he was going to lose these friends. He was going to start new in a new school and he's shy. He was going to have to commute every day. He will not have as many friends because the school was in a different place of the city and will have to commute, and there will not be so many play dates. So that was one of the options. The other option was homeschooling. And what I said is basically homeschooling is me and you. You are not going to have so many friends. You will lose the friends that you have now. They will find new friends. I mean, obviously I was a little bit I was really trying to give him the best options. And he decided, I want to stay in the same school. Let's keep on trying. So what I would say is, again, cooperate with the school, medication, connection, talk about the alternatives. And one thing that I haven't mentioned 100% is the rules, which I did mention a little bit, but the rules, having specific rewards, positive rewards at the end of the day for good behavior and good effort at the school. On a thing that he really wants. Like if he doesn't like playing PlayStation, don't offer PlayStation. So these are the things that we talk about in my community, Good ADHD Moms. We talk about this all the time. And if you want more tips and more advice and connecting with other moms that really get you, that don't criticize you and that know what you're going through, join the community. We have a private Facebook group, and we also meet weekly on Fridays. We have a meeting where we do some parent coaching, like what are the things that we're going to try this week, as well as we have some Q&A, answering questions, and it is a lot of fun. So join the community. When you join, just click the link below, enter your name and your email and your payment information, and after you join, you'll get an email from me with the link for the Facebook group, the link to add to your calendar so that you can come this Friday to the call, as well as the link to the resources in our app. We have our own app. So join the community. Everything is going to be much better. You'll be with a community of people that get you, and you've got this. You're the best. Keep on watching, subscribe to the channel, and talk to you very soon.